I don't know about you guys, but it's been a crazy day. I've been running around everywhere. Things have just been just chaotic.
All
and
day?
The day is flying by all
Dude.
day. From the moment I woke up, I felt like everything was just like, go, 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 rush here, go there, go there. You ever have one of those days where you're just scrambling?
Yeah. It's like the rat race, man. Like every freaking day. Ugh. It's crazy.
I know. It's just like the moment, and when you have kids too and you're kind of juggling the two things, it's just, kids want your attention and you run over here, do this and that. I don't know. It's been one of those days, but I'm loving it. I build castles.
Building. It just seems like with me, like I have nothing going on all day. And then it's like everybody calls and texts and messages and it's like all at one time. I'm like, I got too much to do.
I hate that.
That's kind of how it works. If your hair's not on fire, I don't think you're doing it right.
Right.
That's a good analogy. I like that. Imagine if my hair was on fire.
That would suck.
That'd be it.
Dude, yeah, that could suck.
Was that the Michael Jackson commercial where his hair caught on fire?
It was the Pepsi commercial.
Pepsi, that's it. Yeah. Like, what was he shooting for? Yeah.
He was recording Thriller, right? Was that what it was?
It was it was something like that, or it was like Beat It or something like that on stage.
It wasn't Thriller. It was what's the one where he's walking down, kind of like Wizard of Oz, where each step is lighting up.
It was a Pepsi commercial. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a Pepsi commercial. Yeah.
And as soon as he said Wizard of Oz, I'm thinking, he's on down the road. Remember The Wiz?
The Wiz, yeah, man.
Do you remember The Wiz?
Like Diana Ross and all that stuff? Yeah. That was good shit.
That was the best version.
I saw a video the other day of this. I don't even know who it is. It's some band or whatever. And I think it might just be like a tribute band or whatever. But this guy's got like nothing but hair. You know what I mean? It's like everywhere. They were using like pyro and all this stuff on stage. His hair literally catches on fire. Literally. His head is on fire. And he's still playing and singing like a badass.
Wow. And like, that's commitment.
Yeah. Like total badass. The stage crew runs on there, extinguishes his hair, and the SOB is still just going like nothing happened. I'm like, that right there. Absolutely
that is
amazing.
Getting after it.
Oh, I couldn't even
imagine.
Believe it. Dude,
yeah, you're just all in at that point.
I think
just everything.
He had to like have nothing but like probably hairspray. Like that's probably why he's so flammable. Like,
yeah, totally. I don't know. I mean, when I used to go into locations, when I lived in them for 3 days, I'm like, I'm not going to do my hair. I'm not going to do anything. At some point, you don't care anymore. But I set my hair, right? I'll use this, what is it? Tea tree gel or whatever. Yeah. I'll use that. Put that in and it's set for 3 days. It just stays like that.
What?
Yeah.
Nick,
it's a miracle.
I gotta say, like, I'm sure the spirits kind of like I'm sure they appreciated that too. They were like, "This guy is keeping it together for us."
Plus, I don't sleep like where I'm tossing and turning in my little sleeping bag. I sleep like I'm dead in a coffin. I'm just like this the whole time for like 1 hour of half conscious sleep and 30 minutes of REM sleep. That's it.
Yeah,
and you're up.
Dude, no.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. It's funny when you're in the zone. When you're in the zone of playing music or whatever you're doing, whatever your passion is, or living in haunted locations or whatever it is, you're all in. Yeah. You're like, forget all this stuff you kind of set, and you forget about everything else. So I can imagine him playing his guitar and just doesn't care.
I'll tell you what though, like it's like when working in a scene and movies and stuff like that. I'll get banged around, and I won't feel it until later that night. And I'm like, oh yeah, I actually did something. I actually did a stunt or something crazy, and that's how you know that you worked. You know what I mean? You come home a little banged up.
Gosh, man.
Yeah. That's
commit.
What it's all about. You commit. You're all in. I love it, man. And that's what I love about the Schreck family. And we're going to be talking to them in 2 seconds, but they're incredible. Rick, Kate, Winter, and Samora Schreck. They have just this unique family background, what they've kind of become. It's just them. They're all in. They are just themselves. They're not trying to be anything else. That's what I love about them. If you ever had the chance to hang out with them, chill with them, talk with them, whatever it is, they're genuine people. They're down to earth, no BS. They just tell it as it is to your face, and they are who they are. I love
and
it.
They drive a hearse. Am I correct on this?
Dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
They drive a hearse. They drop the kids off in school in their
That's
hearse.
amazing.
Right, dude.
That's amazing.
So when Nick and I did the Spartan race, first time I ever met them, and we're at where were we eating? It's like a Buffalo
Wild Wings?
Yeah,
it's
Wild
Buffalo
Wings. I
Wings,
think it was. And all of a sudden, they come walking in, and I see Rick, and I'm like, "Oh man, this dude is scary looking." Like, what am I going to say? The nicest people you will ever meet, ever. I mean,
That's
they
awesome.
had snacks. They brought snacks and water, and like, "Are you okay? Do you want this? You can get the water, man." And awesome people.
That's so cool.
The cool thing is they went out of their way to get this helmet, a Viking helmet for us, just so Johnny
What?
could wear a Viking helmet, a real one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was incredible. No, they're good people all around. I've had the opportunity to film a ton of stuff with them. They have their own show, House of Schreck, which is on VidiSpace and Amazon Prime. If you haven't seen their episodes, check them out. They're just a unique family. They're really cool.
I guess you could say you can go and Shrek them out.
Yeah, Shrek them out. We're gonna
Shrek them out.
Shrek
You know what
them
I
out.
mean, guys? Let's Shrek them
That's
out.
awesome, though.
Yeah, let's bring them in.
I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to bring him in.
Let's Shrek them out.
Let's check
Let's
him
Shrek
out.
them out right now. Here, let me throw it out there. Let me reeling it in.
Yes.
I feel a bite. What?
Feel a bite?
Something.
What?
Something.
Hold on.
there.
Right. It says we're calling. It says we're calling.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you just toss that out there. You never know what you're gonna catch, and hopefully, I catch
You got to be.
the ultimate.
Life is like a box of Shreks. You never know what you're going to catch.
Like that. Nice. Well done.
Oh my God. Well played.
Well
sir.
done.
Well played.
I figured that was going to get some laughs or some dead silences. One
Oh,
of the
that
two out.
wait.
Just-
Can we get a laugh track? Can we go back and can you say that again? And Josh, can you please?
Little laugh track here. All right. Go ahead, Johnny. Say it for me.
Life is like a box of Shreks. You never know what you're going to get.
There it is. There it is, guys. Okay. Yeah.
There we
got
go.
this.
Yeah.
That was good. That was
Yeah.
good, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
It sounds like someone's dying in the
I know,
audience
right?
there. Like some girl's laughing so she's dying. Johnny, you're good, man.
Man.
Yeah.
Johnny,
That was
knocking
good.
the ladies down, man.
Knocking it out.
Still got it.
It's
All
still
right,
got it.
try them again.
I am. I keep trying. It says they're unavailable, which is fun. Let me tell you.
Let me see.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. You
It
know,
is
the
what it
show,
is.
we continue because people, and we just a quick thank you to our subscribers. I mean, you guys are in here on the third official G Crew podcast right here. So here it is. I mean, shit happens too. Sometimes we're not going to be able to get people right away. Shit happens.
That's
And
very
Rick
true.
is 100% metal with everything.
Yeah.
And I want to know, what is the most unmetal song he loves? Like, is there a Celine Dion song? He's just like,
Oh,
yes.
wow. Good
He's like-
question. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I'm not asking.
Oh,
Somebody
no.
else
I don't want to
is
ask that question.
I would love to ask.
You're gonna ask that.
Yes.
You asked that question because
Yeah.
wouldn't it be amazing if he said, like, Hanson's Snowed In album is probably one of my favorites.
I mean, everyone's got a guilty pleasure, that they're kind of like, and they maybe not admit it. I will admit whatever. I will like that shit all day long.
I have no shame.
No shame. No
No.
shame. Oh my gosh.
You want to try them again?
I just keep
I
trying.
texted him.
I just keep trying. That's
Or
all
try-
I'm doing
try,
over here.
What's his here, hold on 2 seconds.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
called.
I bet he loves Celine Dion, though.
He might.
Listen, guys, I absolutely loved Titanic. It moved me greatly. That's a whole nother episode. But I don't hate the song. I don't hate it.
No.
You can't hate that
And
song.
Rick, if you're watching this and you hate Celine Dion, I was just kidding, man. Like, I'm
Just
joking.
kidding.
Yeah, he
Josh-
will see this, John. He
He's
will
like,
see this.
I got nothing
Josh
but love
told
for
me
you.
to say it. He
Yeah.
thought it'd be a good razz. I guess I didn't believe it.
But there's got to be a song. There's got to be one that's
Oh.
that'll surprise us.
What is? Okay, I'll start with "Careless Whisper."
Dude.
George Michael.
Don't even get me started on that. You put that crap in my head. You were in the gym yesterday singing that top volume. You got that in my head, bro. Like big
That's how it is.
time.
And what started that for me was I walk into a gym and there's one other person in there and he's lifting and his earbuds are in. He's like, let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Just getting into it.
So I'm thinking, what's the most weightlifting song I can reply to him with? And that Careless Whisper it was.
That's the one, bro. That's the one.
That's nice.
But dude, there's something about that song. It's gorgeous. I love it.
What's your we got to go through the guilty pleasures.
Oh shit, bro.
Wow.
I've got a lot. I'm not even lying. Like right there, like what you just said, like Careless Whisper, George Michael. Like George Michael, love the guy.
Yes.
Love him. Like
that's not even like a guilty pleasure. That's just like you had better love it.
Yeah, exactly, right? That's what I kind of think too, man. Oh.
Especially guys our age. Especially guys like us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But
guys
our age. Are you getting it?
I am getting it right now here.
What's up, Shreks? How's it going? How's everything?
What up?
Hi.
Hello, Schreck Family.
Welcome to the G Crew. You're finally officially part of the G family.
That's right.
The G Crew.
The G Crew. Yep. We're riding and dying in those hearses. We need to be like recording inside the hearse. That's what I want to do. Just a little ride along. It's awesome. We were just talking about how amazing, you are. And we were talking about everything that you guys have done. We were talking about the hearses. Johnny, I know you had a question for them. What's your question? Let's kick this off. Right for Rick.
Right off the bat.
It was actually Josh told me to ask it because he was too afraid.
Horse apples.
Chad told Josh to ask this. So.
Right.
We want to know, is there a guilty, like metal? You guys are metalheads. Like, is there a guilty pleasure song that you like a Celine Dion tune that comes on? You're like, yes, this is my jam that nobody knows about.
Well, which one of us you want to know about?
We'll start with you.
All right. I love Celine Dion. I love Sia.
He's in love with
Oh, nice.
Oh, there it is.
I love Rihanna.
Fantastic.
Britney Spears, man. That's my girl.
There you go.
No wrong.
Very nice.
See, Josh, I told you.
You did say it. Yes.
That's fantastic.
You know what they say? Don't judge a book by its cover, right?
That's right.
Well, you know why I like these female pop singers is because I love like nasty black metal, heavy stuff, right? Like Cradle of Filth, Deicide, bands like that. But when I want to hear a beautiful song, I don't want a man singing to me, man. I want a beautiful woman's voice.
Yeah.
So if I want to hear like a really pretty song, it's not from a dude.
That makes total sense.
What happens if it's Johnny singing to you though?
I would like that. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a different story.
Yeah, whoa. Johnny was singing in the gym the other day out loud. He forgot his headphones were in, right, Johnny? And he sent us a video and people were staring at him.
No, it was, I walk in the gym and there's one other dude in there and he's sitting there lifting going, let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit. And so I answer back with singing Careless Whisper by George Michael as loud as I possibly could.
That's what's up.
That's awesome.
And that got me thinking about it. It's like, I bet Rick's got a guilty pleasure. He has to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I go on on binges. I'll listen to Sia every day for a couple weeks sometimes. She's one of my favorites.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Hmm?
What about the rest of you? What do you like, Winter? Let's go with you first. What do you like?
Oh, God.
Let's say it. What genre is it you in? What genre is in right now for you?
Themes from Cats.
No, we don't talk about cats.
We don't talk about cats?
we don't talk about cats here.
Why
We
not?
don't talk about cats.
They're looking into our souls right now, the cat's eye. What do you like?
I don't know. I guess it really depends on the mood I'm in, because one day I always believe the first couple minutes when you wake up in the morning is the most crucial, because it sets the mood for the day, and it's really hard to get out of a bad mood when you're in the middle of a day and there's just so much going on and everything. So I more so try to start off the morning with something that gets me happy, but then as soon as I'm coming home from school, it's more acoustic, soft type things. But in the morning I'll listen to more heavier stuff. Like what? It really depends.
Depends
it's
on
not
how
as
you
heavy
define
as you. It's
true.
not as heavy as my dad, but more like 3 Days Grace, him, that kind of genre.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah, but you said the first couple of minutes of the day. is what sets the mood. Usually wake up a couple minutes before you have to go to the bus stop.
That's not true.
I give time to listen to music.
Hour. Yeah.
There's no time to listen to music.
Like on the bus, yeah.
All right.
It's a 30-minute bus ride. I got like a whole album I could go through.
So she's not awake until she's on the bus.
True.
Like I don't know about you, but back in the day when I used to get on the bus, we didn't have Bluetooth and phones and stuff like that in the 80s, right? But I remember getting on the bus and we all be like jamming out together. It was like an a cappella session, right? And until the bus driver would get mad and throw one kid off the bus or some ridiculous thing. Like today, if I was a kid in like your generation right now, I'd be bringing my Bluetooth on, hiding that in my backpack somewhere, and just like cranking up some like crazy hip hop or rap. Everybody be singing along, and they couldn't stop us because we all had Bluetooths jamming, you like boomboxes and stuff. Is that what you do? Is that what happens today, or do people?
Oh my god! Nobody talks to each other on the bus.
Everyone hates each other.
That's exactly right. Yeah. No one talks to each other.
Wow.
The morning bus, everyone is like, ugh, I don't want to be awake right now. But then like, I'd say more so the late bus is the coolest bus to be on because that's all the kids.
Sports kids.
That's like the athletes, the kids who do like clubs and stuff, and they're actually like
cool
pursuing
kids.
Something fun.
Yeah, all the cool kids that are in the clubs and drama class. The cool kids are already home.
Hey, the cool kids were in drama class. Let me tell you right here, the cool kids were. They were in drama class and they were in choir. This guy.
Yeah. What'd you play, Chad? Chad, what'd you play?
What do you
Did you sing or did you play something? What'd you do?
What in high school?
Yeah. Did you play an instrument or did you just sing?
No. I was in choir. I was a terrible singer. Like I am not a good singer, but I really loved the people because you could be who you were and they accepted you, and everyone had a great sense of humor. And then of course, if you couldn't find me, I was literally in drama class all the time. I was on stage. I wasn't messing around, you know what I mean? Like I was there, and the people that I met in high school doing, I mean, that was like very instrumental to why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go do this, and I did.
Nice.
Did you ever want to be on Broadway? I've always wanted to ask you that question because you're such a great actor. You've been in freaking so many films and TV shows, but Broadway, have you ever thought or considered or wanted to be on Broadway?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a whole different beast in it, and you can't hide. It's easy for us to well, it's not easy, but we can yell cut, and we can stop and do it again. On Broadway, you can't stop and do it again. You have to be really well oiled, and you got to know your craft. So yeah, absolutely. I've auditioned for a couple of plays. I've gotten really close to a Broadway play that Zach Braff was doing a while back, and I flew out to New York and got really, really close. And it just wasn't meant to be. But yes.
That would be a rush because it's all live. You just got to be on
all
point.
Live.
Everyone's watching, everyone's staring, you're just on point. Right. I went and saw a Broadway play years ago. I think my favorite, I've seen tons when I used to live in Vegas and then New York and whatnot. What is all your favorite Broadway plays? Like Winter, Samora, what are your favorite right now? Didn't you just go to New York? You saw a book. Yeah. Tell me about that.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. Since we've only seen one in person, and it was Beetlejuice, and it was so good.
Amazing.
I thought that I wasn't gonna like it because I'm not a theater person, but it blew my mind. I was just like, oh my god.
Beetlejuice. I love Beetlejuice. Yeah, go on. Tell me about this.
So just the whole adventure of going to New York and just being there and getting scammed by people in the streets.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And just seeing the show was just such an altered reality kind of thing. It kind of just felt like a dream, and it was so fun, and I really want to do it again. And I plan on doing it again in the future, maybe by myself, because I just want to go see more Broadway shows.
Yeah, it's an experience.
Yeah, I do find myself listening to soundtracks and stuff too for Broadway shows, even though I've never seen them. Mean Girls is one, and then Winter after Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah.
Oh nice.
Oh, you're trying to one up me now, Winter. Nice. I had this small little miniature, and you just bring in the whole bag.
Yeah, you've been one-upped. You've been one-upped, dude.
We actually brought him with us to the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he accompanied us on the train ride, the long walks and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I almost got thrown out for filming him in where the stage is.
Oh, the guy was just being.
Because they don't allow you to
Yeah.
film.
They're real
Yeah.
strict. They don't like bring out your camera at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't like that. They don't like that when that happens. What do you think about aren't they remaking Beetlejuice right now? Or has it been remade?
That's a good question. No, I
Tim
thought
Burton's
they were
remaking
doing a
it.
second one or another one with Michael Keaton because you can't do it any other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a part 2.
I think they're
I
doing
think
a prequel or
I
a
want to
sequel.
say, but I don't know. I don't have that confirmation.
There was a trailer I thought I saw a little bit ago where I think it was either a prequel to the Beetlejuice movie. So I don't know if it's a prequel or what, but I saw a trailer a while ago for it. I wasn't sure where they were at in that stage, but who knows? Yeah, it's an amazing Broadway experience when you get out there and do that. I saw once. That was really cool. If you like romantic love stories, that was a good one. I've seen a ton. Chad, you and I should do Mamma Mia someday. So,
Mamma Mia,
Ooh.
Mamma Mia.
I saw that when it first came out in Vegas. It was weird
I
experience.
saw Phantom of the Opera before I met you.
Yes.
Yes,
That'd
that
be
was
one
the
of the
one
greatest.
I saw.
Amazing.
Did you see it in New York? Where'd you see it?
Yep. In New York. Yeah, this was like, 1997, I think.
Oh yeah.
It was a
Yeah,
long time ago.
Phantom of the Opera was really cool. I saw it when it first came out in Las Vegas. They had like this $1 million chandelier that would drop from the ceiling. It was incredible
Wow.
in the theater.
Mhm.
Really incredible. Yeah, it's cool. It's a different experience. So what else? Rick, how long you been tattooing for? That's what I wanted to ask you. How many years? Tell me about your tattoo shop, what you've been up to.
February was 26 years I've been tattooing. I don't know anything else anymore. Right? I don't have any other marketable skills. So if tattooing was outlawed across the nation, I don't know what I would do. That's
good
sell my
stuff.
body, you know?
Yeah. What's the weirdest thing you've ever tattooed on someone?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, do you have an hour?
Yeah, there's so much. I don't even know where to start with weird. There was a guy one time came in, he had a bumper sticker, and it was like a goof on 666. So it said 667, neighbor of the beast. And he goes, hey man, he came, he showed it to me, and I go, clever bumper sticker. He goes, no, I want this on my throat.
Whoa.
That? Yes, I did this big 667 on his throat, and then he wrote neighbor to beast across his chin.
Dude.
Yeah.
Ew.
I was like, you got it. Whatever
What
you
did that
want.
mean? What did that mean to him? Do you know?
No.
Damn.
I don't know at all.
I like how the guy's like, no, not just 666. Let's take it up a notch and go to 667.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, you're still talking
Amazing.
about it,
So-
so.
Still
Exactly.
talking about this thing. Yeah, we opened a. I was working at a place for 10 years, and then had to leave there. So my brother and I opened our own shop called House of 1,000 Tattoos back in 2004, and we named it after House of 1,000 Corpses, of course. And when I first opened the place, I had a bunch of props I bought directly from Rob Zombie. He used to sell on eBay. He had an account. I think it was called Grimely Ghost or something, like Grimely Ghost 9 or 13 or something.
Wow.
And the dude who was doing the special effects for him was Harry Wolfman. He had an eBay account too. And they were selling all the props from House and whatever other stuff he was doing. So I bought like the cheerleader dress from House. What's his name? Tom Towles police shirt from Devil's Rejects.
That's awesome.
Armor from Devil's Rejects. That
I got to wear the cheerleader outfit for Halloween.
yeah, we have Pictures of Kate in the cheerleader outfit,
That's so
which was
cool.
awesome. But I had this stuff for a while. That along with a ton of saw props and stuff hanging in the shop. I got the idea from the Sony Theater how to have all the movie props. So I did that, and for about a decade they were hanging up and nobody cared. I'm like, look, I got all the props from House of 1,000 Corpses, and they're like, didn't see it, and then they want to talk about tattoos. So we got bored with it, and we turned the shop into like a zombie shop for a while. And now it's like half Ouija boards, half, I don't know.
How many Ouija boards do you have in your house right now?
On the walls, I think we stopped at like 127. We couldn't hang anymore.
Dang.
But, they're stacked in my my little art room. I probably have about 200 in my house. And there's about 50 in the tattoo shop.
And let's talk about this. So, the biggest Ouija board ever created, built in the world, right here. House of Schreck actually created this, and it was built in Salem, Massachusetts. Kate, Rick, tell me about this experience, or all of you weigh in on this, because I loved this experience. I came out there, I filmed them during the day, and if anyone hasn't seen it yet, it's actually an episode right now on Amazon Prime in Vidi Space. You can go there and check it out. That's VIDI.space. It's really cool. Tell us about it. How was that experience? Tell me, the backstory and everything leading up to the point of creating it that day.
Well, let me start off by saying we stayed in an RV for 10 days.
Wow.
In Salem with 3 dogs. So that was an adventure in itself.
And so caught a tortoise in the shower.
Yes, we brought the tortoise with us too.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring the tarantulas, but we thought the jostling around, they might get, they might get killed actually, because they're just really fragile. So.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. How it started. I've been making Ouija boards for a long time, and I started this line of Schreck Ouija boards in 2000. It was 2004. Right, This is a magic year. That was when I started shop too.
I was born too.
Right, you were born what? So I started making all these boards, and I was coming up with ridiculous ideas. Like I was trying to make some next level stuff. So that was when I also came up with this one called the Ouija board, WEEDJA, for pot smokers, right? And I thought it was funny, and I had like the sun and moon looking all stoned, and yep and nope instead of yes and no. And the planchette was a pot leaf. And we were selling those in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, Monster Mania. I sold a bunch of them. And then, a little bit of time went by, and I was like, I don't want to make these things no more, man, because like I had kids, and I didn't want to be known as like the pot Ouija board guy. So I just stopped making them. And I continued making all these other things, right? We made one for winter, that little one with the children's stuff, children's letters.
Yeah, magnetic alphabet.
Yeah, and a few years back, I bought my first hearse, and I made one that would fit in the hearse. So I made the first ever drivable Ouija board. It's a hearse Ouija. And from there, Kate goes, well, what are you going to do now? I said, why don't I make one that hangs on the front of the house? So I made one big enough to cover my porch, which is also on Vidi Space. That's the first episode, right, Nick?
Yeah, that was awesome. He dresses up as zombie Santa Claus. It's zombie Santa, right?
Yeah.
Santa Mortis,
yeah.
Santa of Death. So, when Nick was coming to my house for the first time, he's like, yeah, you want to do anything like crazy at your house or whatever? And I go, well, we hang a Ouija board on the front of my house for Halloween. But you want to really get a rise out of the neighbors? Let's hang it on the front of the house for Christmas. Decorated with red and green lights. Yeah, and we all dressed up as zombie Santa stuff. We normally do that at the shop, not at my house.
Yeah.
So I was walking around as like the undead Santa, and all the neighbors came over. The kids were all loving it. We were giving away candy canes.
That's fun.
So
that's amazing.
That's awesome.
So then we're like, where do we go from here? And I was on the phone with Robert Murch, and me and him have been friends forever. And I back when I was coming up with ideas like the Ouija, right? I go, hey, Murch, I got an idea. I'm going to use the things that they line a baseball field with, the white. I'm going to get one of those rollers, and if I did an alphabet, like on a football field, a whole Ouija board, and if I parked my car in the middle of it, put it in neutral, let's see if we can get my car to move. Right? That was my silly idea. So we were talking about it year after year, and Murch goes, when are you going to do that crazy stunt where you're going to your car? And never did it, but I was tattooing a good friend of mine. He works for a moving company, Trans-American, and I said to him, if I can only get my hands on the wood, I would paint a Ouija board like the world's never seen, like something the size of a parking lot. And he goes, how much wood you need, man? How much wood? He goes, this guy, they build shipping crates for like oil rigs. So when I asked him for 100 sheets of plywood, he's like, that's it, right?
Yeah.
He goes, you got it. And he started delivering all the wood to the tattoo shop.
Wow.
I designed a board I made a grid on a regular Ouija board, and I had an old overhead projector that I used since 1988 when I was in art school, and I did it one panel at a time. That was it. It took me a year and a half painting one. It's like painting a puzzle piece, one piece at a time, without knowing what it's going to look like and trusting your measurements.
The amazing thing is that he had the patience to finish it, because usually he's on to the next thing right away. So.
Yeah, if I can't finish a project in one day, I abandon it. But I told everybody I was doing it. Like
so you had to stick to it. Yeah.
I would look terrible.
And Kate, tell the story about what happened to him when he was trying to pull the pieces of plywood back, and tell us that story what happened, because Rick might not have been here right now. His Ouija board would have, but Rick might not.
That would have been cool.
No, not cool.
10 sheets of the 4x8 plywood leaning up against the wall in the garage, and I wasn't in the room with him, and he went in there to go check all the pieces. And he's just, he's like, I'm just flicking through them like this, but they ended up leaning up on him. Next thing I hear is him yelling my name. And I had to come over, and they're 70 pounds a piece.
Wow.
So, I could barely lift up one. So I had to lift up a couple before I got them all off of him. And yeah.
It was in like a hallway. It was in like a thin hallway. So when the boards fell, they diagonally pinned me to the wall, and then they were pinned to the other wall. So there was no way I could even slide them off of me.
Dude.
And it took 700 pounds to the stomach.
What would have been ironic is if one of the pieces of wood, do you know what it said on it? Which panel was that? Was it the one that says goodbye?
That would have been great. No, they were blank.
Laugh track, Josh.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Get the laugh track going, guys. Oh my God. So
it's funny, like just the weird stuff that you kind of create in your mind and kind of these experiences you go through. What about your house? I had the opportunity to go down there recently and live with you guys for a whole weekend, which
party.
I love you guys regardless, but it was great to actually, I was sleeping right where you guys were, right on that floor right there. It was interesting. So, have you ever had any haunted experiences, weird things happening, or unusual things? I know we talk about this all the time, but Josh, Johnny, and Chad haven't heard the stories, and probably everyone else listening, but tell us a little bit about the stories or what's been going on recently. Anything good?
You guys got anything?
No.
Winter doesn't want to talk about half of it. She thinks it's like Bye Bye Man. We're like, don't think it, don't say it. She thinks you can bring it to her.
That's not true.
What's up, Winter?
I don't know. It's like, you remember the ghost box that you were messing with here?
Geoport.
Geoport. Ever since then, my parents have been using the same app on their phones.
We go to sleep with it.
And whenever they do it, I wake up in the middle of the night, and then I have almost like a sleep paralysis type thing where I feel like I can't move. And I start to panic on the inside, but then I have to talk myself out of it. You're fine. Nothing's touching you. You're fine. And we always have those silly childish moments where that fear of the dark type thing. And especially when you're half asleep, you can't tell what's real and what's not. But then as soon as I go back to sleep, I have the most vivid dreams.
Yeah.
And it's the craziest thing. It might just because I'm related to him, and he has very, very vivid and creative ideas, as you know, as well. But yeah, it seems like whatever it is that's happening right now, it didn't start to become more noticeable until we started paying attention to it.
Yeah,
more.
listening more attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll fall asleep with the ghost box, with that divination thing app that you got, and we put it through the Bluetooth. And I don't know, I sleep so good, and I sometimes I find myself talking to whoever in my sleep though, but I'm not saying anything out loud. And one time,
I said your name one time when you were sleeping.
Yeah. Winter slept downstairs, and she said she didn't have any nightmares. But when she sleeps upstairs, she has nightmares. So that's where all the Ouija boards are. So.
I came downstairs. What was it last week, right? I came downstairs for a little midnight snack, right? And I'm walking through the living room, and we have Nick's seen it. We have a real casket in my living room that has like a bowling alley bench on the top of it. So it's a couch, a casket couch. Winter's sleeping on the casket. It's a school night. And I'm walking by and I go, Winter, what are you doing? Are you going to go upstairs and go to bed? And she looks at me and she goes, are you going to have that ghost box going? And then I go, why? She goes, if you're running the ghost box, I'm sitting down here.
Yeah. It's not.
That's awesome. Sorry for starting all that stuff, guys. I just was going over for a good weekend, and I had to bring Gio for it. And now you're hooked. But that's what Gio does. Gio will get people hooked, and he will keep you in. No,
Yeah.
it's interesting because I know, Rick, you know, you were very skeptical. I'm very logical until you start experiencing things or, you know, we don't fully understand how this world works. Josh, Johnny, and Chad and myself, we always go down the rabbit hole about weird theories, ideas, what is really happening, right? Because none of us have all the answers to this world we live in or as human beings or the brain works or what happens when you truly die and leave this body. But it's interesting when you start opening yourself up to like the possibilities of these weird occurrences or strange things, even running applications like that. And, you know, you start drawing in different energies. The real thing is energy is a real thing. We all produce energy and there's energy all around us. So what are we dealing with? I don't know. That's the strange thing, you know? But something's affecting us, right? It's just kind of the world we live in. It's the unknown. You know, we walk into this world and sometimes we just don't know. But it's really cool. You know, I had a really good time when I was down there with all of you. And I had the opportunity to like, yeah, Nick, you know, we were doing a bunch of things. And they're like,
the coolest part was just sitting eating breakfast with you, honestly.
Yeah, eating breakfast.
Just chilling at the table, you know?
Yeah, no, it was cool, but the best part I had was we were driving in the hearse one day, and I was hungry. And like, hold on, we want to take you down this other this road here. And it's like it's something out of a horror movie. It's like Wrong Turn, right? I'm in this hearse with them. They're all piled in the back. I'm sitting in the front with Rick. I can't get out. My door is locked, so he has it. So you have to open from the outside, you know, because when you're in dead bodies, you don't need to get out, you know, unless the driver lets you out. So we're driving, and all of a sudden we start going, and then suddenly we just go down this road and we go to the Devil Tree. Tell us about that. Tell me about that experience, you guys.
Oh, go ahead. Hey, you want to talk about it?
Oh God. Okay. So that. Okay. I can't even remember. It was really fun though, because we were just driving down there, and then we stopped and we got Starbucks. So we were all just like holding our Starbucks cups. And
we were at Starbucks. We went through the drive-thru. Yeah. And I'm like, Nick, and Nick was like calling his order over, and he said, "Can I also have a bagel?" I go, "What the heck is a bagel, dude?"
Bagel.
Bagel.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
That was crazy. It was a cool experience though, because I've never been there. I mean, I knew a bunch of the history, but you know, when we started looking up some more information, because it's a little bit of far-fetched. There's a lot of legends behind that tree.
Yeah.
What was some of the history that we found out about it? Because I don't know what's true and what isn't. You know, a lot of it could just be
most of the stuff about that area, that part of New Jersey. Like, I mean, I haven't done the research, but if you look it up, it'll say that was like there was a lot of Klan activity and stuff there. And there's a lot of claims to bad things happening with that tree. There's also a claim that some farmer owned that land, right? He killed himself on it, or
suicide, yeah.
Right,
hung himself from a branch.
Yeah. So then people say you can't cut it down. You know, when we were there, you could see like there's big chunks cut out of it, and it's been lit on fire. All kinds of stuff has happened. But there's these weird legends about it. You can't pee on it.
Yeah,
if they say if you pee on it, you will die on your way home.
Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
And the thing is, if you Google Devil's Tree, Google Maps will tell you where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's become like an official landmark.
Yeah, it's an official landmark.
Wow.
You know, hearing stories,
don't pee on the tree though.
But like hearing that just makes me want to pee on it. You know what I mean? Like I want to just.
That's kind of like almost a G Crew challenge.
Like,
I mean, we don't want to disrespect the tree.
No, but you gotta do something, right?
So what happens if like a dog comes along and pees on the tree? You know.
I think I asked that question. I was there. I don't know.
Did you?
The dog is cursed. I don't know.
The dog's cursed.
Short life. Short life for the dog. I hope not. I think
if you touch it, I think you get cursed.
Yeah, if you touch it, you get the pee mess all over you. That's why.
Did you guys touch the tree?
I don't think they could be squirting way up here.
No, but it's like I don't care. If you go to a public bathroom and you touch the dry urinal, it still has nasty stuff on it.
That's
right?
a fair point.
True.
Fair point.
Today that's a warning issue on all news articers. You know, wash your hands, don't touch anything, don't go
wash your hands,
anywhere.
don't touch anything.
Watch out.
Coronavirus.
Yeah, I know.
Right,
seriously, it's spreading. They just actually, you know, that's a huge thing. They're at category 4. I think level 4 is that what they call it right now in Italy. Italy is at level 4 for the coronavirus. Yeah, I didn't even say that word. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a weird world right now, but we were just talking about this the other day, you know, the epidemic of like, what was it, Johnny? All the swine flus and all the gross stuff that's out there.
Ebola, and like every year there's some kind of big, huge disease that's going to kill everybody.
SARS.
We're all still, SARS.
Yeah.
We're all still here. Life's still happening.
Yeah, it's been an interesting ride, you know, so far, but it's been great getting to know you and your family, Rick. And if you haven't had the opportunity to go to New Jersey, definitely go get a tattoo by this man right here. He's incredible. His artwork
I
is
got one,
awesome.
actually.
Did you? What'd you get? What'd you get, Kate? Let's see it. When did you get this?
Oh wow!
Life is beautiful.
Wow.
That is awesome.
It's from the band 6 a.m. Nikki Sixx's band.
Yeah.
So they did a song video, Life is Beautiful, and there's all this crazy like sketchy drawings in the background. I screenshotted a flower there, and we both have it. She has it on her chest. I have it there too. And it's like for all our friends that died from the disease of addiction. That's what the tattoo's for.
That's awesome.
That's really incredible. Yeah. Do you tell us a little bit about the Schrecks? Each one of you. What's something that nobody would know about you unless we were sitting here talking like a bunch of friends right now over a conversation of like ghost Cheerios or something like our breakfast.
Blueberry.
Yes.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Blueberries.
What'd you guys give me for the first time? I've never had before. What was it? Pork or something?
Pork
New
roll.
Jersey. New Jersey pork roll. I've never had that before until I went to their house. Incredible. So tell me something about you. Tell me something about you that nobody knows. Something interesting. Anything.
I'll go first.
I'm an open book.
Yeah, go some more.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
So, I've been told before that I look like a troublemaker, like an absolute like rebellious kid. Hey, shut up. Not by these people. I mean like by people like in school. And then when I actually like interact with people and get to know them, I'm actually just like really just like shy, and I just don't like talking to people. But when I actually open up, people are just like, oh wait, like she's not mean. Like she looks mean, but because like they know my dad, and they're just like, oh, her dad is scary, I don't want to talk to her. And then I'm just like, well, I'm nice, please talk to me. And then like I have like I'm on honor roll and stuff, and I have like straight A's and B's and all that, and people just wouldn't like know that about me because of the way I present myself. But I thought that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. It goes back to when we started this conversation. You know, don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, that's the bottom line. You know, a lot of people think I'm just that paranormal guy, and I'm not. I've won Spartan races.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I've been on American Ninja Warrior. Come on. No, I hear you. I mean, Samora is one of the most highly intellectual people I've actually have met. Like, she's super smart. Like, high honors. You're getting better grades than if I would go back to high school right now trying to get.
Oh, forget about it.
Yeah,
Forget about it.
It wouldn't happen. Chad and I would be in detention.
Forget about it. Yeah, we would be in detention, just up to no good, just not amused.
For talking too much. Yeah, Rick, you be in detention.
Yeah, Rick will be there too.
It'll be fine.
We won't forget about you. The three of us.
Yeah, when I was in high school, if you were late to school 3 days in a row, you got an automatic detention.
Yeah. It's
If you didn't go to detention, you got in school.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I would just go to detention every 4 days because I was late to school every single day.
So you were like the guy in Breakfast Club then. Nice.
Dude, yes.
Oh, worse. Yeah.
What about you, Kate? What's something that people don't know besides the new tattoo? That's awesome.
I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I guess everything is always surrounded by Rick's Ouija boards and the crazy curses and stuff, but I actually bake. I have actually, I've been baking a pretty long time, I guess, since Kyle was little. But I've done wedding cakes, birthday parties and stuff, and I don't know, I think I can bake a pretty mean cake.
Oh yeah, definitely.
She is an amazing baker. Actually, you showed me pictures of your cakes, and I was like, wait, what store was this, man? You're like, no, I made these.
That's so cool.
I was blown away.
That's
You need to make us a G cake.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that too. Like, eventually, like, we're gonna need a G Crew cake, like an awesome G Crew cake.
Nice.
So we should do that. Kate, you can make us the G cake, and then whoever wants to be a part of the tier on our page here, maybe we all show up and deliver the cake.
Yes.
And you have an option. Do you want the cake in your face, or do you want to eat the cake?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like the G Crew surprise.
G Crew surprise.
Yeah, G Crew. Yeah.
Oh man,
I like that.
If Kate makes that cake, we're finally gonna be able to meet Chad in person.
I know. Now you guys have like one of my like first movies that I ever made.
Yes. The best movie ever, Black Circle Boys.
That's amazing. And how that's what connects us. That's what takes us way back. How because that's an independent that I made. That was like, oh man, I was like 19 years old. That was my first sort of big break that I got in Washington. Yeah. They took a chance on a nobody from Washington. How did you find that movie?
You just looking around through DVDs. I don't even remember how far back it goes. I've been watching that movie forever. I've actually had it on rotation at the tattoo shop.
That's amazing. That's so cool. It came out in 97, I want to say. 97 or 98. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching it forever. It's one of my favorite movies. And my favorite scene in that movie is like 2 seconds long, right? They're guys are all jamming in that little hallway. He just stole a bunch of equipment.
Yes.
And he goes, I don't want to practice. He goes, let's be like Deicide. And they just start like just jamming. And you're hitting that little piano, which is hysterical.
Yes. Yes, that's really funny. And actually, that was the first day of shooting. That was my first day ever. Wow. Yeah. And I remember like going so hard on the first take. And the director came over. He's like, hey, just chill out. Just chill. You're fine. He's like, these are your friends. And that was it. Yeah, that's funny you brought that up. That was my very first day.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, so man. Cool. That's amazing. I'm so, So yes, Nick, if you heard that, this has got to happen so we can finally all meet in person.
Yeah. I'll knock on your day. I'll knock on your door one day, and then there will be a cake there, and Chad will jump out of it.
Yes, I will. Actually, this will happen.
Yeah. What about you, Rick? What's something that people don't know about you, man? Something, I don't know, something cool, uplifting, something that people...
I'll tell you something funny.
Yeah, something funny is good.
I have a crippling fear of horses.
What?
No doubt.
I hate horses.
Really? You never told me this.
Hey, my daughters don't even know. They know.
Yeah, I knew that.
I hate horses. I don't like them.
Really?
He's like, it's stupid.
I don't like something that's the size of a small car that's completely full of fear that if I'm over near it, it just decides it's going to kick me and kill me.
Yeah.
Like I'm not down with it.
I hear you, man.
Right?
I hear that. Yeah.
I respect them from a distance. I stay away.
Yeah.
Man.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's scary? Now I tell my kids this, and they look at me like I'm nuts. But you know what the scariest animals are on the planet is a unicorn. Because if a horse can kill you, what about a horse with a horn? Like a rhinoceros. It's like a rhino horse.
You mean like the horse?
If only unicorns were real.
I have to come up with that explanation. Because in 1988, I got a stupid Pegasus tattoo with a horn. And like everybody laughs at me and says it's My Little Pony. But I'm like, it's the most dangerous animal on earth. Because it runs real fast and has a horn.
That's awesome.
That's funny. That just reminded me of that film Tom Cruise was in. It was a musical. I never knew it was a musical all my life, but I saw it when I was a kid because the devil in it during that one scene. Legend. You guys know Legend, right? You all seen that?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. The unicorn, man.
Yeah.
Don't let it get the unicorn horn. I never knew that was a musical. Did you guys know that was a musical?
I just found out now.
Yeah, it's weird. It's this weird like Mandela effect. If you rewatch it, right? It's a musical. I didn't know that. I watched it several times when I was a kid, and there's a lot of great moments in that. But then I'm like, wait, why is Tom singing right here?
And also, can we add like this is the choice you make after Top Gun? I mean, come on.
It's Yes, Tom Cruise.
But I watched it and I loved it because it was Tom Cruise. And how can you not?
Yeah, I don't know. I loved it when I was a kid. It was so weird and bizarre, and it was out there. It was like David Bowie and Labyrinth. It was just like, it's just such a weird mashup of all this like interesting subject matter happening. But I love the scene where the devil's dancing and stuff like that. What was the actress's name? I forget her name, but she goes to the dark side. He has to go back and rescue her. That was a good film.
It has some great one-liners in there. Like, when the devil's sitting there and he's all depressed and he's talking to those little goblins.
Yeah.
He's like, is my heart not black? And he says, yes, master. Black as night, black as pitch, blacker than the palace witch. Right?
Oh, that's
It's pretty cool.
That's a good one, man. Forgot about that.
I got to go back and watch this.
Yeah.
So good.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
It's so good.
What about you, Winner? What's something cool? Something cool about you?
I'm secretly a grandmother at heart. So I've been told that I'm an old soul.
Yeah.
And I really was never really a party person. And my mom, both my parents will tell you, even Samara, Mama was always like the one in the friend groups and everything. I always ended up like finding a friend group, getting along with them for a day, and then realizing I don't feel right here. Like this feels weird. So then I move on to another friend group, and then it just never worked out. So I was more independent growing up, and I liked to observe. I wasn't very talkative. And I work at the Milltown Library, and that's where I feel most at home because I love to read. And it's funny because I struggled with reading growing up, and I'm very proud to say that, I started off my school career in reading recovery and all the classes in the morning and everything. And I'm actually going into 12th grade. I'm going to be in an honors English class for the first time. So,
Awesome.
Yay, Grandma.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really do. I love my tea. I love my coffee. I love my crochet. I love like the pretty weather and everything. I'm not like a cold weather person, believe it or not, despite my name. But yeah, that's something interesting.
Why don't you tell a story about how Nick Roth ended up in your high school?
Oh, and by the way, she makes the most amazing tea. Every morning I would wake up and she'd be like, Nick, what tea would you like? It was so proper. It was so proper. You definitely are an old soul. I love it.
Oh, that's great.
Why am I British?
Seriously, I felt like I was in London all of a sudden. It was great. Yeah. Yeah, I recently had the opportunity to go down there and visit your school, both Winter and Samora. We went to your school and talked to your class. That was fun.
Yeah, my drama class.
Awesome.
Yeah, so pretty much.
How did it happen, remember?
Yeah. Sophomore year, I had an essay due. And just so happens that my English teacher is also my drama class teacher. And I had an essay due at midnight, the night that we were interviewing with Viddy Space. We're doing
Girls versus Ghosts.
We're doing the zombie Santa.
Right.
The zombie Santa.
We're all dressed in like zombie makeup, and I'm stressing about like this. What was it? Like Henry IV essay done at midnight, and I was almost there. I was like halfway done, but I wouldn't have been able to complete it because you need like evidence and all that baloney. And I believe we made like a video or something, right?
Well, we were in the middle of the interview, and I said, Nick, Winter's getting in trouble on her essay for doing this interview. So Winter took her phone and filmed Nick on the screen. And Nick asked the teacher if she can get an extension for doing the interview.
Whoa.
Yeah, he said, well, him and Elizabeth, like, we'll come to the school. And, what was like a year ago, right?
Yeah, that was a year ago.
I don't remember saying that video either. I don't remember doing that. That's what happens. Get people in trouble.
Yeah. That's what happens when you're up all night.
Yeah. I'm not allowed back to the school, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No, it was a good time, yeah. So a year later, I'm coming down there for the weekend, and they're like, "Oh, remember that?" Rick's like, "Hey, remember that time you filmed that video for Winter?" I'm like, "What video? I don't remember." So then he tells me, I'm like, "All right, well, whatever, we'll go." Yeah. So we walked in there. Our entourage walks into their school, and it was awesome. It was a good time. We all sat on the stage floor and we talked for a good hour or so about.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking about I was like. yeah, you want to make it in the film career, you want to do this, you want to do that. I was all like passionately talking about like how to do it, what really to do to make it and break it in the industry with all these great kids. And the moment, like, I'm like, all right, anyone having questions? Like, all that stuff went over everyone's head. No one could care about that. And they're like, so, do you think our place is haunted here? Like, it just got into like the ghost stories and stuff. Everyone want to talk about like this ghost who's up in the what was it?
Ophelia. Yeah, she lives in the prop room.
In the prop room.
Yeah, supposedly she's the reason behind like on opening night of a play that happened a couple of years before I even went to that high school. There was like this weird thing going on with the stage lights. Like one of them broke or something, or a light bulb which just wasn't working. And that was the day that someone discovered a doll that's like made out of pantyhose and like has weird like Sharpie all over it and everything. It had like a handmade dress and stuff.
Whoa.
No one knew where the doll came from, and they named it Ophelia. I'm not sure. Maybe it was a character in the play that was happening that night or something. Mm-hmm. But supposedly it cursed the show that day. So
interesting.
I don't know. So we're not really allowed to bring it up, or else it's gonna mess up our opening night again. Supposedly.
Till now. Watch out.
But you had asked Nick about ghost stories of the house, and I mean you've heard me say it a million times. I don't know if I told you, Johnny. I think we probably talked about it at the Spartan race, but I definitely haven't talked to Chad about it. But I haven't talked to all you guys, right? Butt ghost, right? Fart ghost. We have a fart ghost in the house, right? So what's a fart ghost? A long time ago, when Winter was born, right? There was never anything going on in the house. Never. Like I had all these Ouija boards. I have all this. I get embalming tables, funeral stuff, all kinds of crap, right? And nothing's ever happened. And then Kate had Winter, and all of a sudden the cameras were funky. All the photos started getting funky. We thought there was something wrong with the camera, right? And that was when like Kate started thinking the house was haunted. She was like, I thought she was just having like crazy pregnant brain or something, right? And she's like, I don't know, something's going on here. And I was working, that was back when I was working. I worked a 100-hour work week. I worked 2 in a row. Did 200 hours in 14 days at the tattoo shop. Dang. Like I was like nuts. I'm laying in bed. I wasn't the friendliest guy, right? I came home. I go, I'm going to bed. I got to take a nap. I got to go back to work. So I go upstairs and I'm laying in my bed, and I had my back to the doorway. That we've always had weirdness in this doorway. Pictures get weird in the doorway to my bedroom, right? So I'm laying with my back to that doorway, and I had mastiffs at the time, big Brazilian mastiffs. I thought one of the dogs was, when a dog like jams their nose in your butt or your crotch. So I was like, whoa! And I thought
Johnny tries to do that to me all the time.
Yeah. Just
We're
like
aware.
that, right? So I'm laying on the bed, and I feel like something, like not just like gently, like nudging, like hard, And I thought it was one of my dogs, like sticking their nose up my butt. And I turn around, and the dog's not there. There's no dog there, right?
Oh wow!
So I get up. And it was just an odd reason. I got up and I was looking around, and the dogs weren't upstairs. I only have 2 little bedrooms and a tiny bathroom. The dogs weren't upstairs. So I walked down the stairs, and Kate's laying where the coffin is now. You're laying on the bed with little baby Winter, and I go, the weirdest thing just happened, and I need to tell you about it. And the dogs were on the floor, and Kate's like, what? I said, I'm laying in bed, and something pressed really hard on my butt. And I thought she was going to laugh. I thought I was going to make her laugh. She turned stark white, and she just looked at me, and she goes, same thing happened to me.
Wow.
Yeah. So we were just like, so what do you think that is? Some kind of butt ghost? Some kind of ghost going to touch butt? I don't know, right? So we don't think nothing of it. And then one day I'm at work, and we were constantly getting all these, like, I see people have orb photos, but you could tell it's dust or bugs. Yeah. We were getting, like, weird orb photos, like giant ones. Like you could actually point to where you thought one would appear, and it would appear in the corner room.
And it had like a plasma looking inside, different colors.
So Kate called me at work, and she goes, I just snapped a photo of Winter laying down. You're not going to believe it. But there was this big, giant, like weird orb looking like it's either coming to or going at her butt while she was sleeping. And
Dang.
yeah, so Kate captured the butt ghost.
You don't have it with you right now, right? Do you
I'm
have
looking
here?
for it.
Yeah,
I have
no
it
worries.
somewhere.
We can cut it in so people can see it. I mean, it's a really cool story because you can rule out. I mean, investigating locations. We all know investigating locations for years. A lot of stuff can be ruled out from dust or reflections from the lenses to the IRs back into the cameras and stuff of dust or water vapor or whatnot. But this, when I see what they've captured, described as an orb or whatever we want to call it. I like to refer to them now as balls of energy because orbs to me are they're overkilled by just the stereotypical people saying, "Hey, here's my grandma. It's an orb in a picture." I get that one all the time. But this is a really cool picture. I want you guys to check this out. And it's cool. I want to see what you guys think, but I thought it was something unique, definitely something different than your typical. Yeah, it's a cool story. It's interesting. I did not get touched in the butt when I was there, when I slept there.
No.
So I can't add to your story. I'm sorry.
If you did, it was me.
Kate was nice enough to barricade the doors, so Rick couldn't come into the darkness and try to get me when I was sleeping.
That's funny.
And also because they have an amazing cat named Ghost. And by the way, when I was sleeping there, I would be like really falling asleep, right? And then, I'm surrounded by all these dolls hanging from the ceiling that you see there, and then the coffin sitting next to me. And then all of a sudden I would hear this like, boom, boom. And I'd be like, what? And I hear something like crawling by my air mattress. And then it would be the cat Ghost. Look at that picture, guys.
Dude.
Look at that. Right?
Whoa.
What do you guys think of that? Can you move it a little bit closer? A little bit closer?
A little closer.
Right. That's good. Actually,
That's
you're good. Go up a little bit.
Sorry.
Yeah, we can see it. Move the camera up just a little bit.
A little higher. There you go.
Right there.
Wow.
And Winter, that's you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winter, and how old are you there, Winter?
How old am I, Mom?
Less than a year.
Wow.
Maybe 11 months.
And didn't you say that Winter would be would she be just staring? She would be staring, right, at these weird anomalies, but you guys wouldn't see it until you take the pictures,
Right.
and then they would show up in the pictures.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's what's cool.
Yeah, I also have a picture of Winter standing next to like an end table, and this is actually before digital. It's on film. Actually, it's
Yeah, orb
on the
on
negative.
film, yeah.
It's an orb. I don't think it's by. I think it's by her butt. I think it's more towards the front where she was standing. So I don't know.
Winter, you were reincarnated from being an old soul from London, and you brought with you your British guy who's fascinated with butts, I guess. And, I don't know. Maybe he's looking for his teeth.
But yeah, hey guys. So
it's Chad again.
Yeah, my phone died, so I had to go back and get my charger.
Dang it.
Chad, we just told you a whole story.
No, I caught the story. I caught the story.
Oh.
No, I caught the story.
Okay.
I caught the story. No, trust me.
So funny.
Yeah, so now we're back. We're rolling again. I'm fine. You got footage again.
Cool.
Man.
You missed everything.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I would like to also get nudged in the butt by a ghost.
So you got to go live at their house for a little bit, Chad. You'll definitely experience it. Yeah,
At some point, it's
cool
gotta
story.
happen.
Cool story. I say we all go there, and we just one time we're gonna come down there, we'll do the podcast from you guys' house. That would
Heck
be
yeah.
fun.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, because Rick,
One of you guys can have a snake around your neck. Another one can be holding like the tarantula, or
I'll take
a
the spider.
cockroach.
And
Oh, wow.
one needs to have the leeches sucking on your arm.
Oh,
That would
wow.
be sweet.
I can tell you who will not be holding that stuff, and that will be me. Actually, because eventually we're gonna have a wheel, and I think that would be a fun
Challenge.
wheel thing. Yeah, exactly. Like someone's got to hold the tarantula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep, the leech has to feed. Someone's gonna have to have their blood sucked from the leech.
That's awesome.
It's weird when the leeches suck on you. You can feel their little teeth digging into your arm.
Man.
And they need to be fed twice a year. Is that what it is?
We've only done it once so far.
Yeah, like twice a year is fine. They can heal every 6 months.
That's wild. Wow. Imagine that if we didn't have to eat every 6 months. We just don't need to eat. I'm just ripped all the time, Johnny. Right? We don't need to work out anymore. We don't have to do anything. Just
it's like being a vampire.
Every 6 months. Yeah,
exactly.
It's like being a vampire, which brings me to ask, like, these modern day vampire shows like True Blood. What do? They turn all the vampires at the gym? Why are all these guys got washboard abs? There's not one chubby vampire.
I know. I know.
Like, I'm not represented in Vampire World.
That's true. That is true. I'm trying to think of any. Man, I'm trying to think of all the films I've seen. Have you ever seen Martin? You ever seen that film?
That's a George Romero one, right?
Yeah, I don't think that guy had six pack.
No.
I don't think that vampire did. But that we're talking.
People cared about six packs.
Yeah, we're talking 70s vampire. I think something happened when it got to the 90s vampires, right? Interview with the Vampire and all those other films. Suddenly, everyone's ripped.
Yeah, everybody's good looking and in shape.
Yeah, maybe what happened is down the line, it started like that, you know, with the ugly vampire, which is ugly, you know, out of shape. And then suddenly started biting other people who were like ripped and just transformed. And now it's just all Twilight vampires and Interview with the Vampires and everyone's just good looking. That's just how it transformed. I'm still trying to do that as we're evolving as human beings. I'm trying to age that way.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
No, it's not happening. Get more gray hairs or something's happening. I need to like go backwards for moving forwards. But I guess we'll get there. All right, guys. Well, it's been amazing. I love talking to all of you. I mean, this family right here is the most genuine, coolest. You have all my respect. I would literally come there and stand in the front lines if the apocalypse happens. Definitely. Especially who's going to attack a zombie Santa. I know I wouldn't. I would zombie. So I will be right there in the front lines if the apocalypse happens. At your house will be my shelter. Definitely.
You can feel the love here. And where can people find you guys? I know on VidiSpace, but where can people find you?
Well, I mean, we all have our own Instagrams, I guess. And
I have a website, ouijahurst.com, which is also ouijazilla.com. Or, I've got a million domains on there. But if you go to Ouijazilla, OUIJAZILLA.com, you see the world's largest Ouija board. You see all pictures of Nick with VidiSpace on 100 pages, all my tattoos, and lots of zombie stuff, too.
Nice.
And their Instagram, follow them on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Look up the names. What is your Instagram, some more? Yours is at?
Mine is Momowashi with 2 eyes.
And then winners.
I need to make a new one.
Oh, you guys know her name's Samara Morgana.
Yeah.
And she's named after Samara Morgan from The Ring. But she was almost named Tabitha Sabrina. That was almost her name.
I wish.
Yeah, and Winter Rain, she actually was almost either Wednesday or Willow. I was on a W kick.
Oh, Willow.
That's
I
cool.
love that film.
Yeah.
he gets to pick the first name. I get to pick the middle.
It was actually Willow from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, perfect. Nice.
Yeah.
I accept that. They're remaking Willow, by the way. Have you heard the news? Have you, Josh?
I saw that. I have heard. I have heard. It's so hilarious.
You have heard.
I have. I mean, how can I forget, guys? There it is. Look at that. Look at that.
There it is.
That's great. That's great.
You never know which path we're gonna steer down. This is the conversation, how it always goes. It starts with something serious and just goes off the topic because we are a bunch of brainiacs, I guess, or maniacs, one or the other.
Maniacs.
Brainiacs.
Is Willow the movie with Jennifer Connelly?
Willow is with Val Kilmer as Willow, and with what was the stone? What was the stone where everyone would turn to stone? I forget.
I don't think I ever saw it. What's the one with Jennifer Connelly?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Willow?
I don't even know the damn movie. She's smoking hot.
Labyrinth?
Labyrinth.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
For a dream.
Well, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Schreck Family.
Nothing but love for all of you, and we'll put up all your Instagrams and Twitters and stuff like that up here. But appreciate it, guys, and have a great night. And if anything Anything touches you in the butt, make sure to film it. Film it. All right, guys, take care.
Thank you, guys.
See you guys.
Bye.
Love you, Shreks. Love ya.
Love you.
All right, ciao.
Man, those guys are awesome. Like the nicest people you could possibly meet. They would do anything for anyone. Someday I have to get a tattoo from Rick. I want one of their Ouija boards, like an original Schreck Ouija. Like, I can't say enough good things about those guys for sure.
We got to do that. We all should go get G Crew tattoos or something.
G Crew tattoos.
So cool, man. And have Rick do it. Holy hell. That'd be so great.
And I love when, people like that are they love each other. They're close family, close knit, and they're breaking the mold. They're doing awesome things. I could talk to them all day.
Absolutely.
They're good people. I mean, I've known them for a while now, a couple of years, but just getting to know them more and more and hearing their stories. Like, I never knew a couple of things that we just talked to them about. It's the first time I've ever heard, and I thought I knew everything about them. But that's the great part about getting to know people is, once you start pulling those layers back, getting friendly, cozy like we do it, just conversating, a couple of friends hanging out. That's what it's all about, man. It's all about the conversation, the communication, the love. That's what this world needs more of. Schreck Family. I love the Shreks, man. They're good people. So it's awesome, an honor to have them on. Check them out. If you haven't seen their episodes, definitely check them out. And you can see a ton of stuff they've done. But that is it for this episode. It's been wild, and we are just getting started. Some amazing guests are coming up. So good night. And if you feel something touching you in the butt,
go lean into it.
Just lean into it,
just
as the Shreks taught us tonight. Yeah,
lean into it, guys.
Definitely call them up and send them a message because something came through this video right here and entered your home.
Cool. We're out. We are out, boys.